All right, so UFC 269, Dustin, appeared in some ways to give up, and Charles Oliveira being accused of cheating. So, basic run through the fight, round one, giving that to Dustin. I think quite convincingly got the knockdown. An excellent, job of applying that classic tactic of orthodox versus southpaw, cancelling out the lead hand, throwing that cross as soon as you're in range, and then making sure you're moving your head, getting out of there to avoid that kind of pull counter, or McGregor's famous for, and did over and over again. He Charles hit him as well, but quite a few times, but convincingly, Dustin took that round. Second round, omoplata from Charles on bottom. And this is where the hook grips come in. So the fingers have fed into the gloves. We'll chuck a photo up here, a little screenshot, and you can see he definitely was doing this. Now, whether he did intentionally or not, I don't know. But it did stop Dustin from being able to slip the elbow out. Most fighters, MMA fighters, would never opt to do a roller skate while standing. I mean, most jiu-jitsu people as well. It's so easy to sort of puppy dog and shake that arm out. In no gi from omoplata. When you're on the floor on your knees, a little bit different, but in the standing position, not such a problem. You can thumb post, extract the arm quite easily. But yeah, the hook grip it stopped him, and he talked about this in the post-fight press. He was asked, did you see Charles hooking in? Dustin said, no, I didn't see him, but I couldn't put my arm out, and that's where I went to roll. The roll was another interesting thing. He actually rolled the opposite way to where most contemporary grapplers would opt to roll. Reason being, when you roll in, the likelihood is that you can get back on top in the scramble much more easily than when you roll away, which is what Dustin did. And yeah, he did end up on bottom, and then that's where it got a bit weird, and that's where this thing of, I think, did Dustin give up sort of it come from, because he locked up a body triangle and didn't really do anything. Now the sort of MMA meta is like feet on the hips, kick him up, stand back up. You're fighting against gravity. Damage is exploitable to the man on top to a far greater extent than from the man on bottom. So let's get out of there, back to our feet, and I mean that's where he was winning anyway. But what it seems to be, and Joe asked him what was going on there, and he was asked again about it in the post-fight presser. Tactically, they were respectful of Charles' skill set. He holds the record for submission wins, and they didn't want to risk, while they get up, a positional advancement in counter to that from Charles. That could lead to more serious damage done, or a back take, and ultimately a rear naked choke. So hindsight, who knows? Maybe you should have just pushed the pressure, tried to get up. But maybe that would have seen a round two submission finish, or greater damage anyway. So I think when you hear from Dustin that the game plan was to take it to him, pick him apart in the later rounds, 3, 4, 5. He knew he'd won the first round. So okay, well, this is where my enemy's dangerous. I'm not going to fight when my enemy's strong. So he can have this round, and we'll get him back later. Okay, so it makes a lot of sense, I think, in hindsight. It didn't make sense, live watching it. Why is he laying there? But after hearing from him, I don't think he was giving up. And then that third round, Oliveira did a fantastic job, went from the body lock and occupied the hands, with Dustin needing to maintain posture, got the hooks in, and then I think Dustin's, that roller coaster of just giving away a round trying to avoid this, and now here we are in the third, and Oliveira's got the sub. So, I don't think Dustin gave up. I think the man's got incredible heart, and he's exemplified that over and over again. He really thrives, in the heat of battle. Question definitely came to me while I was watching it. All this money that he's made recently, and that as it got to him, and has he lost that doggedness that he's so well known for? But I don't think so. Hearing him fight, and I hope that he'll be back to perform again, and certainly not leave the game on that note. Sure, it won't. Huge Dustin fan, and Charles, yeah, put the fingers in the glove. Don't think there was any intent to it, and I think he did perform extremely well, regardless of that. So, at most, I think the ref might have yelled at him and maybe have to adjust the grip. And I mean, he did adjust the grip multiple times anyway. He wasn't just holding on to that hook grip. I think he was sort of trying to maintain some kind of, a lot of people latch onto the edge of the glove, which is legal, not here, but here. So I think he can be forgiven for that. More or less a slight, misjudgment in the heat of battle there. Nothing that's been done before, and nothing that I think Dustin would want to say, oh, that led to me losing the fight. There was bigger problems than that for him in that fight there. So yeah.